No one deserves to be murdered, and that includes, of course, the 38-year-old who was a mother, a sister, and a daughter. After more than 3 decades, her killer has never been brought to justice. Inside the binder from 1984 labeled homicide are the records and news clippings from when Ernestine Roten was murdered. Found in her one-bedroom apartment off 5th Avenue. A rape kit retested in 2009 using new DNA technology led police to suspect David Foxworth. Yet no one has ever been able to place him with Ernestine at the time of her death. The file's pages of records include this evidence list. Lieutenant Chris Leroy has never stopped thinking about the case.
She was actually found with a plastic bag over her head, tied with a bra, which we assume is hers. She was bound at the hands, at the wrists, and ankles with an electrical cord.
Down this hall
crime lab stamps
is the city's evidence room.
Their item numbers are 12 through 17.
Leroy taking the evidence out for the first time ever to show what police have. This, the bag found over the victim's head.
Most of this is going to have fingerprint powder on it.
The medical examiner ruled Ernestine died from asphyxiation.
These were actually stuffed into her mouth.
Police believe a vinyl purse strap was tied around the victim's wrists. The cord from this old vacuum cleaner was cut also to bind her hands and feet.
I believe this was around her wrist, I believe.
But the key evidence
This was our most recent lab submission.
Is the rape kit that links to Foxworth.
That's what the crime lab sends back to us as a profile.
I can obviously place him in Hendersonville based on his DNA. I can place him in her apartment based on his DNA, but that's really the only thing I can associate him with our jurisdiction for.
DNA is a great tool for investigators.
District Attorney Greg Newman is aware of the match.
There was proof that they had sexual intercourse, but no proof that there was any trauma. There's not enough evidence to even make a charge. Putting him at the scene with this lady in and of itself does not mean that he committed any crime here.
Leroy has gone to interview Foxworth in prison. He's serving time in South Carolina for kidnapping, assault, and battery with intent to kill. But he's refused to talk.
I'm certain he was in town, and I'm certain he was in her house. I think at this point, somebody's going to have to come forward with some information, establishing a connection between our suspect and our victim.
Foxworth's DNA also showed up on a cigarette butt found in the kitchen, but DNA did not come back on the vacuum cord or the plastic bag. Hendersonville police investigators believe the case will never be solved unless someone comes forward with information even after all these years.